guys, it's Quills, and if you've been on the internet for long enough, I feel like everyone knows about the meme that is wikihow and some of their questionable articles. I thought it'd be a really cool practice of illustrating what the hell is happening. So fun fact, my partner picked this out, so I don't know what kind of power play this move is, having me illustrate a article that says how not to get caught cheating. So I'm gonna interrogate him after this. So obviously you have like the whole summary here of the article, and I'm going to have a side-by-side of the things that I drew and what is actually being shown. And I mean, I feel like because I let myself use a bit of words, I kind of just made this look like a comic strip. I think this is like what you're gonna see a lot, by the way, but here I think I did a pretty good job of, you know, thinking twice about cheating and all of the like stupid things you could get caught, you know, you could just break up, you could, you know, ruin their life, like all that stuff. I feel like I did a pretty good job showing the guy and his turmoil. I don't really know what this illustration is showing though, because it just looks like someone thinking. I don't know if they're in much turmoil. They look like they're kind of just picking out what food they're gonna eat for lunch, but I'm gonna say I did a pretty good job on this one, even though again, I don't condone anything in this article. I think cheating is horrible, so yeah, I guess that's that one. Having a separate email address, I guess, the second part of, you know, how to not get caught cheating. And I think I don't know. I feel like both of them are kind of vague, but then again, setting up an email address is kind of hard to illustrate. Over here, it kind of just looks like a letter, and though I didn't really have a letter, I did have the, you know, create new email account. I think this was cheating on my part because I actually gave myself words to use. I know a lot of wikihow articles don't really use a lot of words, so I feel like I should have taken that to account, but I think I still did a pretty good job. By the way, I feel like for this wikihow specifically, I kept drawing different characters because sometimes when I play like Guess the Wikihow article, I see a lot of stories not using the same character, which I feel like is fine, especially for something as broad as this. You don't want to accidentally have a stereotype against drawing the same type of person in every single article, so I kind of just kept it diverse by having each character be different. And right now you just see this person looking over to the side, maybe like, you know, they don't want to get caught, but I guess that's that. I think I also did a pretty strong job here. Clearing your browser history, I made it so like this person kind of did it incognito. I feel like this one is kind of weak just because I forgot to color in the mouth, so that's kind of sad. And I know I was in a rush at this point because I had to delegate my time between like drawing a lot of stuff, but I also was waiting for a package, so I kept having to like run downstairs to look at the door. But I think clearing out the browser history was pretty easy enough to show. Again, I really don't like this advice because I think you should just break up. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. I think I drew this right, and I'm not gonna say anything else otherwise. So the next one is using a private browser for your web browser, which, I mean, I think this person illustrated it really well. I don't really know what happened with the keyboard, but I'm not one to talk about messy line art because I feel like mine was also really messy here. Here I just had like an incognito mode. I didn't really want to copy Chrome because, you know, I feel like every app and website is different with incognito, so I didn't want to like copy and paste. Also, I don't know if copy and pasting is cheating, I'm gonna be honest. At least I drew mine. But yeah, no, the incognito mode is pretty obvious. Maybe I should have like made it a bit more stylized so it actually looked like a web browser and not just like a close-up on a tab. I think this was pretty okay, but again, I kind of cheated by allowing myself to use words, so I'm not gonna give myself too many props. So locking your cell phone, this one was so kind of hard to draw because having just a locked cell phone is kind of easy. I will say that I think mine is a bit more clear with like, you know, a password needed. It's not really centered, which now that I'm looking back at it is annoying me and my OCD, but at least with this one I feel like it's a bit more confusing, which is a cell phone and a lock and a check mark. That could mean other things besides just a locked phone. That could just mean you own a cell phone and you own a safe. I don't know. One of the things that I've been taught in art school is to make sure that your illustrations are clear first and then add some stylization after, and if I'm going to be picky like my art teachers were with me, this doesn't seem like the most clear photo of a locked phone, but you know, so isn't mine, because if you take away the letters, maybe it doesn't really make sense. I think I still did a good job here. Using your phone minimally, I feel like this one I did pretty okay because I just drew someone not on their phone and the phone is silent and they're just, you know, totally not panicked on the fact that they're cheating on their partner when they could just save all the time and money and just break up with them right now. But I feel like this illustration, first of all, I don't know who illustrated this and I still think they did a good job. I just don't quite know what's happening with the hands. because what are their hands? Hands are really hard to draw. I understand. That's why all my drawings of hands are like very simplified, because hands are definitely one of the things I simplify in order to make more space for the things I want to complicate. But I feel like there could have been a stronger illustration of using your phone minimally, and then you show a photo of someone using their phone. I think a bit better than the illustration, because I don't really think that's the most clearest. Having a prepaid cell phone, I don't condone any of this advice, but I will say that I think this is like one of my weaker ones, because I kind of didn't really know how to explain this, so I just had like a normal phone versus like a prepaid phone as a flip phone, and then I just had the little tag under use a prepaid cell phone, which again, I don't think is the most smartest idea, because I feel like it's so obvious, but whatever, I'm not cheating, I wouldn't know, and I don't care because I don't condone this. Again, in this illustration, it's not really clear on like what the phone and the card means. It could just be like buying something online, or like you could use Apple Pay or something, I don't know. It's not the most clearest, but then again, a lot of people kind of just delegate to the paragraph under it, so it doesn't have to be the clearest. I feel like maybe having an example of like, you know, a prepaid phone. All of my friends that have backup phones, it's usually like a lower brand phone, like a flip phone, as opposed to another smartphone, which is I think a bit harder to hide. But again, I don't condone this, I don't care. This one is don't use your credit cards on suspicious purchases. I guess when you cheat, you can like track down the purchases, which again, don't cheat. Fuck you if you do. I don't know how the POV of this illustration is. It looks like you're in the chest of like the cashier, and instead of like the credit card being the thing that's crossed out, it's showing like the pocket, which kind of looks like you're stealing something and you're not supposed to steal something. I mean, for this one, I kind of just had someone like buying random stuff, but it does seem a bit suspicious from like their side eye, and they are kind of holding a credit card. I don't know if mine is a bit clearer. I'm just more confused on the illustration itself, but again, I don't really judge it. It is a stylized thing, and I do support the stylization, but the clarity of the example isn't the most clear. I feel like at least this should be on top of the credit card. And it's not. But then again, who am I to judge? We're both just illustrating the same article, I guess. This one is like using separate birth control, I guess, to like hide from your partner so that they don't know. And yeah, again, this is kind of messed up. I don't like this article at all. But the way I illustrated it is just like two people just like buying separate birth control and kind of just like zhuzhing around their eyes. I should have made this kind of look like a store, so it looked like they were eyeing each other to like, you know, get separate birth control. I also didn't make it clear their relationship. I don't know, maybe they're about to have a fling or not. Buying separate birth control is that one, and I don't really like it. Throwing off their suspicions is kind of fucked up, because it's basically like gaslighting your partner, which I think both illustrations did a pretty good job, and I made my character look a bit more worried of like, oh, I feel like I'm not being listened to, and he's kind of just like nudging it off or like brushing it off, and I feel like that's kind of a similar vibe of what this part is going for. I respect the stylization of like kind of lifestyle proportion thing. Like, it's not animated and it's not manga style and it's not cartoony, but it is like real life proportions, but done in a very simplistic way, if that makes sense, with like very messy line art and like messy coloring, but it still like comes out as like, I kind of know what she's feeling and I don't know what's going inside his head. I think the vibe is there, and you know, laughing off their suspicions is really fucked up, and don't do it. This is really funny because he just has a wikihow article, but this is the one for talk to them about their suspicions and, you know, kind of make them feel like they're being listened to while you're kind of betraying them, which is kind of fucked up. I really don't like this advice, and you can tell that this artist is not strong with hands, and so am I, but I don't know what's happening here, and I don't understand the copy and paste wikihow t-shirt that's happening here. But I think both did a really good job of like, you know, listening kind of. I mean, this person doesn't really look like he's listening. He looks like he's about to mansplain, but at least in my illustrations, like this person looks trustworthy, I think, until you find out they're cheating on you, and that's really messed up, and then you're able to like, you know, throw them out the window. But the next one is to promise to make an effort to work on those trust issues, aka gaslighting even more, which, what is wrong with you? This just looks like they're about to get married, and I think that's really fucked fucked up if you are cheating on someone and then promising to get better and then you're engaged but you're like still kind of breaking their heart. I say this as someone who very much doesn't condone cheating. You guys can hold me accountable to this. If I am getting caught cheating in the future, kill me, it's not the actual me. I don't know, I feel like my illustration is a bit stronger because at least this person's promising, and this person just seems like they are in a bad relationship, which I guess you are in this context. The hands look better in this one, I will say that. Don't do that. Stop it. Stop cheating on them. At least don't get engaged. Don't trap them like that. That's really messed up. And the next one is change some of your suspicious behavior. Not all. Oh no, why would you do that? This one is basically like, don't make your partner too concerned by all of the like changes in your behavior, so you change some of them so that they don't, you know, look into things about your suspicious behavior. Which, I mean, for this one, I kind of just had this person like, oh, they look so innocent and they're quote-unquote being more honest and romantic, but in reality they are cheating on you, so that's really messed up. Again, this is a really messed up article. I don't quite know what's happening in this. They look like they're having a good time, which sucks because, you know, one of them is cheating. And I think this is the last one. It is stop or put your affair on hold, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't see this in the illustration. I don't know, I feel like this sign right here doesn't make quite sense. But then again, I feel like mine is a bit like on the nose. I feel like it's so obvious too when we have to put our affair on hold and then the person is just looking over like they don't understand and this person just eyeing her. I feel like mine is a bit more clear, but I made mine very obvious. Maybe this one is a bit better in like a figurative sense. I feel like it's telling me something else and I can't quite name it. So I guess we're both bad at this. I'm sorry, I'm joking. I think they did a really good job. I really like some of the compositions and I really like a lot of the posing. I will say that we both struggle with hands and that's okay. All right, in conclusion, wikihow is there. I feel like this would be a really fun project if you wanted to like practice storyboarding or illustrations in general, because I feel like when I want to practice storytelling, I need something to draw to, obviously, but sometimes I'm not in the mood to like actually go out of my way and like make a whole story and like make a bunch of characters and like create a setting. Sometimes I just need a story that's there in front of me that's easy to draw, and I feel like wikihow is a really good one considering some of the questionable art. So maybe you won't feel bad about yourself if you think yours is chopped. I'm not gonna say too much. Again, don't cheat. I don't know why my boyfriend sent me this. I don't know what he's trying to tell me. I'm gonna scold him later, but that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed my weird illustrations, and I hope this was still an enjoyable video. Okay, bye!